So a little something about myself, if you don't know this already, that if I talk major shit to you and get on your case about everything that you say, I am a big fan. If I'm polite and quiet around you, not a fan. And I'm going to let you come to that conclusion of what I am with today's guest. But before we get into all of that, I got a bunch of shit I got to tell you. This is one of two different types of episodes, styles I do within the show. 60 to 90 minutes long. Got a guest or two on today. Just Matt joins me. We talk about all sorts of crazy things, of course. And then on opposite weeks, it's just me, this microphone, you all listening, no notes, and whatever is on my mind. I go live on Facebook and YouTube, so if you're listening to this at a later date, I would love for you to kick it back and join me on those platforms as well. And I'm a one-man band here. Everything you see with the logo of the show or anything that has to do with the show, I do it. All right? I love doing it. This podcast space is extremely crowded, and I am unbelievably grateful that you all give me your ear real estate for the time that I put this stuff out. So thank you. Love you all. But I'm asking for some help. If you go on whatever platform that you're listening to this on, audio, whatever, 5-star review, write a review, that type of thing. I'm trying to build my YouTube to 1,000 subscribers. I'm this close. So I'd love for you to jump over at YouTube and subscribe, like, and share, and all that other stuff people ask you to do. And if you like what I'm doing here, tell a friend or 7. And of course, I can't go any further without giving the 3 companies a shout out to help keep this podcast project motoring down the road. The links are in the show notes. They're all local small business, which I'm a huge fan of supporting local and small business, all right? So you got Composure, and that's pre-workout. Now, I'm a big fan of pre-workout, been using a long time. What I love about this stuff, it's not like 500 milligrams, so it's not going to get you all jittery. And it's not just for the gym. Think of it as an energy drink without all the shit in it, okay? So not just necessarily gym. Gym, of course, yes. But any other activity that you're doing, for a long hike, bike ride, got a long meeting and you need to stay focused for it, going on a long drive and you want to stay focused for it, game of pickup basketball. I could go on and on for examples, but check these guys out. And when you're done with that activity, I got the perfect stuff to ease those muscles and joints. Live Reishi rub. That is a staple in my gym bag. All right, and then they got the tincture to help you sleep at night and relax. And of course, what are you going to do with all this stuff? How are you going to carry it? Got you covered there too. Craig over at High Speed Daddy, he's got backpacks, all sorts of gear for active lifestyle, especially parenting, but you don't have to be a parent. And guess what, fellas? I'm calling you out. I was rocking my new fanny pack from High Speed Daddy the other day, and it kept me and the little man operating smoothly all the adventures we were going on. Ladies, you don't usually have an issue with a fanny pack, but the guys do. Telling you, fellas, it's a game changer. Again, links are in the show notes. Check them out. Give them all shit for me when you get over there. And of course, everything you want to know about the show is at the old website, brawpodcast.com. Sign up for the newsletter. You can see everywhere you can listen. Got some cool pictures up there, merch. And I just put up a new blog about getting touched by the old Christmas magic. Would love for you to check that out. brawpodcast.com. All right, man, let's get on to this show. Matt, like we promised, coming at you here in just 1 second. Awesome time with this dude. Give him some shit about some stuff that's been weighing him on his mind. We talk about comedy and the difference in comedy that we have. And also, since this recording, we have seen a comedy show together, and it was an incredible night. Had a lot of fun. Matt, what makes Matt tick when you see and hear him talk about radio and being a radio DJ, you can see him, the passion come through, and I love to see what makes people tick. All of that, he's got a lot going on, but you know what? I'm going to let him tell you all about it. Let's get to it.
Much more prepared this time.
What? There really ain't none to prepare for. That's what I don't understand, dude.
I was telling B-word earlier.
I was like, this guy's all fucking bent out of shape. I was like, I got to give him some shit when I talk to him.
You know what? You can if you want. I am a perfectionist, and I was not proud of my performance on the last time we tried to record, and I was just like, nah. I know I could do better than that. I didn't really say all that much.
Yeah, you were all fucking wallowing in your shit. I still
am, but
are you? All right. Well, at least you
more animated about it, I guess.
Did that woman kick you the curb yet?
No. I don't want to talk about it.
All right, dude.
Unfortunately, she was never mine to begin with, which is a shame.
Well, yeah, hey, man. I get it, dude. I get it. I tried getting with Jennifer Aniston. She didn't want nothing to do with me.
Please tell me you're kidding.
She don't even know I fucking exist, bro.
I was gonna say, if you actually tried, respect to you for that.
Hey, dude, you gotta swing for the fences, bro.
Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
The other one that I say all the time is the answer is always no if you don't ask.
Well, unfortunately, I never got the chance to ask, which is why I'm beating myself up over it so much.
Yeah, you're better off, dude.
That's an agree to disagree moment, Walt.
All right, we can go with that. It's not bad, though. I mean, the thing is, I get it, man, because, we've all been there, right? And if somebody listening to this says, no, they're full of shit. We've all had somebody or something that has been unattainable for us. And doesn't that make it that much more interesting that you want it? Because it's unattainable.
So then here's my point of view of it. What if you never ever attain it? Because if it's unattainable, it still means it's still able to be attained at some point in time, right? At least.
Wow. Okay. So what makes it unattainable? You being a fucking bitch about it?
No. Well, jeez. Wow. Fuck. Just fucking stab me in the heart.
Well, dude, I'm just saying.
No. It's fine. Hey, listen, we're bullshitting. It's all good. That's a good question.
Yeah, we'll come back to it. Yeah, how's B word, by the way?
I haven't been able to get really talk to him, but we text each other back and forth. And I'm a bad friend. I don't really catch up with as many people as I'd like to over the course of my week. So, but he and I were messaging a little bit back and forth today, and I was telling him about that we were doing this episode, and he seemed like he was happy with it. He said he seemed like he was excited for me to be on the show, and I can't say enough about B word. Enough good things, I should say. He's a great guy. He's probably one of my better friends in podcasting. He's a phenomenal dude. And I was very happy to be a part of his show way back. I don't know when this is going to ever get fucking uploaded, but way back in, February, March, maybe one of the two.
Nice. Yeah. B-word. That dude's a solid guy, man. I like that guy a lot. So
he's a phenomenal conversationalist.
Dude. Yeah. He'll talk about everything. And he's knowledgeable. I mean, he's not bullshitting you. He'll pull some stuff out. I'm like, what the fuck? All right.
And even then, he'll pull some stuff out on you, but he'll be able to eloquently do it.
Oh, he's just great to talk with. And I've learned he didn't necessarily come out to teach me something, but with our interactions, he's taught me a lot about this business, about podcasting, and about episodes and that kind of stuff. So I really enjoy talking with him. But enough about that, dude. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
We keep jerking him off here on your own show.
I know, right? He fucking gets enough attention.
He should fucking pay you. He should pay you for all this fucking self-promotion.
Yeah. That's all right though. He's all right. We'll just stick with that.
You know how he can pay me? He can pay me in fucking wins against the Giants and the Cowboys this year. I still have to pay him for fucking the bets that we made last season.
Oh yeah? Well, that's you a Cowboys fan?
No, I'm a Giants fan. He's the guy. He's the fucking dirty Cowboys fan.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But anyway. Did I tell you about the money I made off the Giants in the Super Bowl? You ever hear that story?
Which one?
Both of them.
Oh fuck! I don't think you told me the story.
Dude, oh my God. The second one's the story's a lot better. So, but the first one, what, in 07? Right. 07?
07.
Okay. So I was out in Vegas and I was getting married, and for my first wife, and my dad was with us, and he's a Giants fan, and we always watch the games together. I go, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna put, and it's like in June. It's like in not even before it's before preseason. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna put $100 on the Giants to win the Super Bowl. And I bought my dad a ticket, and I bought a ticket 28-1, bro. Right? So I'm like, oh, no fucking way, dude. And it's against the Patriots. Well, it turned out to be against the Patriots. So throughout the year, it was cool because throughout the year, we're sitting on the couch or in a bar, depending on where we watched it. And we'd say, oh, that took a hit on the ticket, or, oh, that means the ticket's still good. So it was really cool to sit there with my dad and watch it and have that connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the Giants win. We both win $2,800, right? So I was going to Vegas a lot, so I just went and collected, and he mailed it in and did all that shit. So from that year, I bought $100 ticket every year for my dad and I, right? So then the second, for how many years in a row I was burning it, because they weren't doing anything.
Yeah, right.
But that one year, I go and buy it because I went to Vegas for the World Series of Poker every year. So it was like in June or whatever, right? So I'd buy the ticket then. So that year it was 44-1.
Oh,
and I was
Jesus.
like, holy shit, dude. I'm like, sweet, come on, baby. Of course, we're like, I might as well just fucking light this thing on fire. But as the year went on, we're like, holy shit. And that's the year the Patriots are undefeated, and we're like, oh, there's no fucking way.
No, they were undefeated in 07.
Was it 07?
It was 07 was the undefeated year.
Oh, okay. All right. I got it mixed up. But anyway, and by the way, did you see that documentary on the Patriots?
Which one? I haven't seen it.
On Netflix. It's fucking good, dude. No, not Netflix. Apple.
I don't have Apple, so I didn't
oh,
see
okay.
it, unfortunately.
It's fucking phenomenal. Even though I hate the Patriots.
Don't we all?
Yeah, well, it's kind of love-hate. You can't deny the talent, and anyway. But so Giants are going to the Super Bowl for the second time against the Patriots. I go out to Vegas like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl for a bachelor party. So I am fucking barbecued, dude.
Oh my
and
God.
I go to this casino downtown and I make a bunch of prop bets. I make four prop. This is how I did the prop bets, dude. I could barely see. And I'm barely functionable because I'm so fucked up. I take all the money out of my pockets, and it's just like in piles on the counter in front of the lady doing the prop bets. And I didn't even count it. I take like a wad of it out of like in my hand and hand it to her. I go, put that on 1429. And I do it again, and I go, put that on 728. And I just rip out 4 prop bets, and she's like counting the money. And well, come to find out, I had score a touchdown in the first quarter, kick an extra point or something. I had 3. Sorry, I had 3. So scoring a touchdown in the first quarter, which they did. And then it was like something in the fourth quarter, which I missed. But the big one, dude, I look at the ticket and I went again. I was like, set that fucking thing on fire. Dude, the ticket was to create a 2-point conversion in the first quarter. Now, if you know about football, you're like, that ain't gonna, what the fuck is that? Nobody would ever do that in the first quarter. Right? Dude, what was it? The fourth play or something? They get they tackle him in the end zone. Boom.
Oh, I think I remember this.
Yeah. I lost my shit. I completely lost my shit. I was like, what the fuck? Holy shit, are you fucking kidding me?
Wow, you lucky bastard.
Dude, between the 2 prop bets that I won and the major ticket, just under $12,000.
Walt, you're shitting me.
Nope.
Oh my God. How much did you have to take out of taxes for that year? Good God.
I got a good buddy that's a CPA, so we're just going to leave that at that. So he's like, do this and do that. I'm like, okay, no problem. Okay, do that. Okay, no problem. Sure, I had to pay taxes, but yeah, dude, that was crazy. So, and then
that's insane.
I just kind of fell away from football, dude. I don't watch any sports. My bandwidth is so stretched thin at this point with the house and the family and the job and this show and just the gym, and I like to play cards. So whatever makes me happy, I go and do.
That's fair.
And that's it, man. I have truly found the power of no. Think about that, man. It was,
it's funny. Funny enough. Speaking of the girl earlier.
Oh yeah. It always comes back to women, dude.
I know it always comes back to women. So we have a group chat with a shit ton of our friends.
Oh, right? Jesus.
And then somehow, some way, this topic that we just brought up comes up in conversation amongst like the 30 plus people, or not the 30, but it was like 10, 15 people in this group chat. So one of the big things, I guess, that I was like reading into as I'm trying to do my own work, and I'm like paying attention to the group chat, like, what are they yapping about? It's like learning how to say no and, prioritize yourself, which I'll be honest, I don't do a good job of that. I'll be frank. And I don't because in my head, and this is not arrogance, I don't even say it's cockiness. It's just what it is that if I don't do something, it doesn't get done.
What do you? Well,
so if for instance, and I'm not bearing anybody on my own podcast, but it's just like for my own podcast, which is the Bromigos podcast.
It's a good time, by the way.
It is a phenomenal show, and I love all the guys on there. But if I only had one gripe, is that I wish the guys would take a little bit more initiative. And we're all busy with our own lives anyway. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, one of our guys who hasn't been on the show in months just had a kid. So we're all unks now. But so like one of the things I was begging these guys to do when we first started was to take over some of like the responsibilities, because I was doing the editing. I was making all the promotional videos that we post on our socials. I was posting on the socials, and I begged everybody to like step up and help me out a little bit, because I don't want to sit on my phone all fucking day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, or sit in front of a computer screen all day. And then, they tried doing it, but like, and I'm not shitting on them when I say this, they were doing a piss poor job. They were. And the content wasn't coming out properly. It wasn't coming out in a timely fashion. So I said, fuck it. I'm just going to take the responsibility back, because I'm the only one that is prioritizing this shit. So that's what I did. I do literally the audio editing, some of the video editing for the socials, and I post everything on the socials, and that takes me hours. It takes me an entire fucking day to get at least half of that done.
Dude, you're preaching to the choir, buddy. I don't think, unless you're like, I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm in it just as deep as you are. But when I talk about that kind of thing, unless you're doing it, like you're doing it, and I'm doing it, B-word does it, this shit takes a long fucking time.
It is a labor of love.
Oh, absolutely, dude, absolutely. But the thing is, I'm creating a post right now, and I'm having a good time, and I'm spending way too much time creating it, but I'm having a good time doing it.
Yeah, of course.
And it's a buddy of mine, a real close friend of mine. He's been nothing but an entertainer his whole life.
Uh-huh.
Right? And he says the word show business. Right? Show is little. Biz is big. So you and I sitting here for an hour chewing the fat is like 2% of where all the shit that goes on for this to come out on whatever platform these
pretty much
all you fucking clowns are listening to it on.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like I don't want anybody to reach out to these guys like, oh, he buried you on the podcast. And I'm not burying them. That's what happened. I wouldn't say anything that isn't the truth. And I'm sure they know it just as much as I do. But at the end of the day, and this is even just in regards to podcasting. Even when I was like in college, like people would say to me, "Hey, I need you to do this," and I was already buried neck deep with other work, whether it would be homework or other responsibilities I had at my college radio station at Rider University. And they'd be like, "Hey, I need you to take this on." I'm like, I want to say no, but I didn't, because I thought to myself, well, give me good experience or something along those lines. And I would just get burnt out so easy between like doing schoolwork, which, that's kind of the most important part.
Right.
And then having to do all these other extracurricular things at the radio station, between like, editing something or producing, something. It was just too much at sometimes. So like I thought about this conversation that me, my friend, and all of our other friends were having. And I'm just like, and I said to her, I said, you should prioritize yourself. And I'm proud of you that you did, because and I'm not going to put her business out there, but she said herself, she doesn't do that very well. So right. I just got me thinking, like, and it just happened today. It just happened like 7 hours ago, basically.
Well, yeah, you have to prioritize yourself. I don't understand. And I had this same conversation. What the hell's today? We're recording on Monday. A guy is, we got talking. The guy was riding with me. We're moving some stuff around, and he was talking about. I haven't seen him in a while. He went off to college. He came back, whatever. And we were talking about prioritizing, and we got talking about bandwidth and saying no, and like trying to figure out a balance, right? I mean, there's really never a balance. So if you really love what you're doing, something's got to give. Two things can't occupy the same space, right? And he goes, how do you take care of like your family? Obviously you put your son first. I go, whoa, back up, dude. And he goes, what? And I go, my son doesn't come first. He goes, your wife? I go, no, I do. I fucking come first. And he kind of looked at me. He's like, how can you fucking say that? I go, well, first of all,
you'd be obliterated online if you said something publicly like that.
Oh, I'll say it all day long. Anybody ask me,
I believe
I'll say, no, absolutely. You know why? You know how I can take care of my son and my wife the way I do? It's because I'm in good shape. And you know how I stay in good shape? I put my own ass first. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I'm fucking solid. Now I can step aside and be solid in front of my son. And I'm making a good example for my son. Like today, I pick him up from daycare. He's like, Dad, am I going to see you in the morning? Nope. Oh, because you're going to the gym before you go to work. Yes, sir. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow when you come pick me up. Perfect, dude. Putting it first, dude. It's a classic thing of putting your oxygen mask on first before you help with somebody. You're just expanding that a little bit. Now does the only kind of downfall, me personally, that I have is I get up so early to go to the gym. I fall asleep. Fuck, dude, I got to go to bed at like 9:00. Yeah. And my wife's like, boop, 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 boop. She's like 10,000 RPM at 9:00. And sometimes I feel bad that I have to go to bed because I lose a little time with her, but that's kind of the thing that we do. And that's the understanding. She knows how important it is for me.
Well, so it works, right?
Yeah, but the same thing like with you. Like, how can you do all this editing and all that if you don't take care of yourself first?
I don't, to be honest with you. Dude, I genuinely don't. Like, I mean, I try to make the gym at least 3 times a week. And I know that's, for you, it's probably like I just said, like the worst thing in the world. Wow. Committed blasphemy, I know.
But the thing is, though, I gave up on all that. Like, you said, like your boys editing and your boys doing your stuff, that conversation we were just having. You're not putting them on blast. You're just telling the truth, right? Yeah. That's what happened. Now, if they take offense to that, that's on them, right? But the thing is, though, to play Steelman or whatever you want to call it, did they do their best?
I'm sure they did.
Sure. Maybe that's not like my best. My 100% is totally different than your 100%.
That's a good point. So, and again, like I think it also comes from like my own, because I had been in podcasting well before I had started Bromigos. So like I kind of had a way I did things already that I thought worked. So like I had this thing in my head where it's like, if it's not up, and again, this is going to sound arrogant, but I don't mean it to come off that way. If it's not up to my standards that I already know that I could meet, I wouldn't post it, or I wouldn't make it public or anything like that.
Why would that be arrogant? You just,
some people are going to take it some way, and I just like to preface that beforehand. Some people are going to have their opinions on it, but I mean, and again, it might come off that way, it might not. I don't really care. It's just, again, I have a standard of how I do things, and if it's not my standard, it's very seldom I let my standard slip, where it's just like, oh, I fucked. There's a typo on this video. I don't want to fucking redo it all and repost it again. It's a pain in the ass, so I don't want to. I'll leave it up there,
dude.
Typos are typos,
dude. I've done that. I got a good buddy. He's like. And he owns his own agency, and he's like really good at copy and all that. And I'll create a post, and the space will be wrong. There'll be like 2 spaces between a word or something. He just
grill you for it.
He fucking blows me up and busts my balls so bad about it. I'm like, going back to what you just said, I am not taking that down because I created it in Canva or something. I'm not going to go back to the file and fucking do everything and download it again and upload it. No, get out of here, dude. Deal with it.
Yep.
But the perfection, like in my opinion, there's a level of perfection and then procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
could you explain that a little bit? I'm curious what you mean by that.
Because isn't a kind of an off cue definition of perfection is considered procrastination? It's not good enough. It's not good enough. No, motherfucker, it is good enough. You're procrastinating because you don't think it's good enough, and you're afraid that what somebody's going to say about it.
See, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad when it comes to maybe making content. I'm maybe more that bad if it comes to opinions about me. If that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, I figured.
And I have something to say about
me too.
Exactly. Dude, it took me a long, and a little of this is what we talked about, before. And
yeah. I'm sure you could probably splice some of those clips up together.
Nah, fuck all that, dude. I ain't spend that much. Dude, I ain't spend that much time on you. What the fuck, dude? But
I appreciate the honesty.
I just say it the way it is, dude.
No, I know.
I tell you what, man. I went through. Is it called a deposition? Where you sit in front of a lawyer and they have a lady that types. Is that deposition? Yeah. I sat through. So I was kind of rolling around ideas in my head and kind of thinking about saying no and the power of no, right? No needs to be the end. I say, no, I don't need to fucking explain to you why I said no. Of course, my wife and I would be a different conversation. But like, if somebody comes up to me and is like, you do that? Nope. That's it, dude. I don't need to explain myself to you. And these are the things that was rolling in my head. So I have to go through a deposition at work, and a guy is getting sued and all this shit. And it's part of, he had some of my equipment and whatever it may be. And a lady actually died. He hit somebody and he killed her in a truck. So Jesus. My work, the lawyer calls and goes, all right, I'm going to prep you for the deposition. So the day before he's like, let's work on this. And I said, okay, cool. And he goes, you ever been in deposition? I go, I've seen him on TV. And he's like, well, they're really not much different in real life. And I was like, oh, that's just kind of cool. I was excited about the experience. And as we were talking, he's like, no is a complete sentence. So if he's like, do you have this program? No. Don't volunteer information. No. Yes is a complete sentence. And I'm like, okay, all right, I understand, right? I'm an intelligent man. I get it. So I spent 7.5 hours in deposition. 6 different lawyers are fucking grilling me, dude. And I sat here just like this the whole time. Yes. No. I mean,
it's simple, stupid.
Well, the thing is, though, no, it's actually not simple. It's complicated.
Really?
It's like, well, no,
it sounds simple in theory.
In theory, but if you look at it if you break it down, he's trying to pull information from me. Mm-hmm. So, and then what worked in my favor, I believe, is before we started going, he goes, because the lady stenographer, that's what the word I was looking for.
Stenographer. Yes, you're right. I remember that now.
Well, he goes, So I'm going to ask you a question. If you wait a beat to make sure that I'm done talking before you start talking so the stenographer can keep up and, do her thing. I said, okay. Dude, I found out how well that worked in my favor. Because he's like, as he's talking, going through the question, I'm like, I ain't fucking answering this in my mind. And he stops for a beat and my lawyer jumps in. Right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Or I'm like, halfway through the question, I'm like, yeah, this is a solid no. And he's doing his job and he's trying to pull information. He's kind of being a dick, which is fun for me. And I'm like, all right, cool. Now I can be a dick. You were being polite. I'll be polite. You're doing your job, So he would say, do you have this program? Yes. And he's like, do you know how to use it? Yes. Can you show me how to use it? Yes. And he'd look at me. And in my mind, I'm like, I answered your fucking question, dude. Yeah, I can show you how to use it. You didn't ask me, will you show me how to use it? So he starts rolling his eyes at me and goes, will you show me how to use it? Yes. And then I would show him how to use it. Dude, I started doing that shit all day and he was getting pissed. But I found out that I learned so much from that experience, dude. Do I want to do it again? Fuck no, I don't want to go through
I don't think
that.
anybody does.
No.
Especially
Dude,
under your circumstances? Fuck
no. I tell you what, I was in the right the whole time. So it's easy to speak when you're speaking the truth and you're in the right. Like, I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm just giving you the information I have. Motherfucker, dude, if you're in a bad spot and you're the bad guy in that situation, I would not want.
Now, does the yes and no complete sentence answers still apply to that side of it? Or no, do you think?
What do you mean?
Like, how you're saying, like, oh, if you already know you're in the right, you can answer these questions yes, no, yes, no.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody is in the wrong, do you think that whole concept still applies, or do you think they feel like they have to try to explain themselves to make it look like they're not in the wrong?
That's what the lawyer said was, when you're speaking the truth and you're in the right and you say no, I don't have to think of what lie that I told to make sure that I'm keeping up with all the stories and the lies, because I'm speaking the truth. To where if you're in the bad spot like the other guy was, he would, because I read the transcript from him.
Oh, wow.
And there's like all these pauses because the stenographer writes in there like time and pause and all this shit. Mm-hmm. And there was big pauses for him before he spoke. And I'm like, that motherfucker's trying to figure out what story he spun. But the thing is, I guess the overall umbrella thing about it is I took that and it kind of completed what I was thinking and where I was rolling at the time. And I add that to my life to where it's like, just live a life of honesty. And when I say that, it's more of live a life of honesty with me. Be honest with yourself. I can look at myself in the mirror and brush my teeth and, hey man, you're a good looking fucking dude. Because I live my life in honesty. There's nothing that I do that I can't talk about publicly because nothing. Dude, I mean, I walk around thinking that my son's staring at me the whole time. It's like, oh yeah, I shouldn't do that. Fuck, I won't do that.
That's actually a good mindset to have, to be honest, though.
Right? Because it makes it easy. Because now you don't have to think about what you talked about. Did you do that? No. Well, you answered that quick. Why didn't you fucking do it? So, I mean, where were you? I was in the driveway. You sure? Yeah. I mean, it's just, and I'm trying to teach my son that. Live a life of honesty. It fucking sucks sometimes because you get beat up about it, but I think in the long run, it's the best way to do it.
I think my problem is, I think being honest is a good thing. I agree with you. I think there's times where you can be honest to a fault as well. Sometimes I know I can't recall of any times I've done it personally, but I know there have been times made aware to me that I feel like I'm too honest in some regards, in certain times.
Now you're thinking you're just too nice or too honest?
Could be a mixture of both.
All right, because they go hand in hand, right?
Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand. Let's be honest.
Now, what being too nice and you get taken advantage of?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could. Well, no, I could see that with you. You're fucking. I enjoy speaking with you, and
Thank you.
I enjoy dude. You got a ton of shit going on, by the way. God damn, I have to keep up with you.
Like what? Do tell. What am I not doing?
Yeah. Well, I enjoy the shit out of your show. It's a fun show. So people listening, I'll put the links in the show notes. But the hockey stuff, basketball stuff.
Oh yeah. Like
the radio thing is cool.
Thank you.
How'd you get into that? You said you were in college about it, right?
So 2017, it was spring semester of 2017. I realized that I was stupid enough to still not be declared a major yet. And I realized, well, when I realized this, I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do? And people would always tell me, because I've had a YouTube channel for the last, oh God, I don't even know, almost 12, 13 years now.
Oh, that's cool.
So people that I met through YouTube and I became friends with through gaming always said to me, "Is like, you should just do radio. You have a great radio voice, so on and so forth." So
well, hold on a second. So when you started your YouTube channel, it was for gaming.
It was it was like gaming commentary. So it's like
okay.
I would make videos and I would talk about a topic and I would just have a gameplay in the background. At the time, it wasn't the most revolutionary type of content you can watch, but everybody was doing it. It was something I enjoyed watching. So I was like, if I enjoy watching it,
somebody else got to enjoy it. That's right.
Someone else could probably enjoy it. And there are times that my videos have done relatively well for my standards anyway, and my size of my channel. But so I walked into my radio station at Rider University, which is 107.7 The Bronx. And I walked up to a guy that at the time would be one of my good friends for many years. And I walked right up to him and said, I would like a job. Flat out.
See?
He looked at me like I had 10 fucking heads. Like, why would you want to come in and work here? But he's like, all right, I'll see you at this date. Don't be late. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, gotcha. Yeah. I won't let you down. And it was kind of onwards and upwards from there. Like, I learned how to do everything from audio editing. Like, everything I learned about audio editing and talking and writing in certain cases, I've learned through being at that station. And then not too long after that, somebody, they called my boss, John. He called me into his office one day. It was like maybe 2 or 3 months after I had joined the station. And he's like, okay, here's the problem. We just fired the producer of this sponsored show, which was a big sponsor for our station. We need you to be the producer. Now, me not knowing what the fuck I was doing and what that would entail, I said yes.
My man.
And that was probably one of the times where it's like taking on that kind of work and saying yes as opposed to saying no worked out in my favor, in my opinion. So from there up until my graduation, I had that role, and I held that role with an iron fist. And I don't know who's taken it over since then, because it's been quite a few years since I've left. But I still think I did a pretty good job, and I set an example for all the people that came after me. Let's see. I've done commercials. I learned how to like do commercial reads, and I learned, at the time I think before I graduated, like the few months before I graduated, I had learned to be so good at them. And this is the reality of the situation. This is not me being arrogant. I could get a read done in about 10 to 15 minutes flat.
That's cool. Well,
from reading, editing, and production, I can get it done in about 15 minutes flat.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. But so the guy that walked up to the dude at the radio station says, I want a job. I want to work here. You got to, so I'll give you some unsolicited thought. Stop fucking saying that this might sound arrogant. Just fucking say it, dude.
Well, you're right. You're right. Again, you're right.
Just say it, dude.
You're right.
Dude, you got an amazing voice. You got to fucking, you do some good shit, man. I mean, watching you on Instagram is cool. I advise everybody to go do that. But you got a lot of cool. It's cool, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
going on your strengths,
Yeah. I used to I think I did that show my senior year of college, both semesters. And then like once I graduated, I couldn't do it anymore. But then after all these years of not finding full-time or even part-time on-air work. I just kind of said to myself, well, fuck, I need to keep my skills sharp, and podcasting is good and all. That's why I did podcasting. But podcasting and radio are the same, but two different things, because you have to learn how to do certain things in radio that could apply to podcasting too, if you get those opportunities to do them.
Right.
So I not too long ago, a couple months ago, around February, I went back to my station and I said, "Hey, John, how you doing?" He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" We had a great conversation. I said, "I want to start my show again." And I'll keep in mind, at the time, all the equipment that I had when I was in college from 2015 to 2019 was fucking dinosaur age compared to what is out at the time for that time period I was in college for. So when I leave, then they upgrade everything. All the stuff that would have been really useful to me years ago. So I said, I was like, you know what? I would like to learn all the new equipment and all the new boards and all the new sound systems for sound and how you upload sound to the everything and programming related things. And he said, sure, we'll start you this week or whatever it was. And I started doing my show again. Now, I don't know when this episode's going to come out, so I will say this much. I do have an intended end date for when I will stop doing the show.
Oh, no shit. Now, is that on purpose, or are they shutting it down?
No, they're not shutting it down. It is my choice to stop the show only because I need to take time to do other things, one. And two, I think I learned everything I needed to get out of it anyway. I did a bunch of other things while I came back too that were very helpful. So I figured I needed to take some time to prioritize finding more work, and I can't do it while I'm sitting here doing other things. So again, I don't know when this is going to come out, but June 26th, which is my 27th birthday, which falls on a Wednesday, which is the day my show airs, that will be the last ever edition of my radio show, The Michelin Man Experience.
Now, was that done on purpose with the birthday and the Wednesday and all that?
It just so happened I had intended to do it. I didn't know when I intended to do it, but when I saw the dates line up the way they did, I said to myself, this is the perfect opportunity to do it.
That's awesome. Sorry, bud. Hang on just 1 second. Sorry. Hang on.
Go ahead.
Psst. What do you need? Hanging above the toolbox. There you go. Sorry.
You're good.
Wife is doing a little home improvement.
That's fine.
So she needed tools. Of course, I know where all the tools are.
Of course you do.
Okay. I'm sorry, bud. Hang on a second.
Go ahead. Take your time. I'm in no rush.
Right. I don't edit this, so everybody's going to hear this part too. But it's all good. So you felt that you got everything out of it at this point.
Mm-hmm.
When is your birthday?
June 26th.
It probably won't come out before that. But
that's fine.
So you felt you got everything you wanted to get out of it. You're making room to go do something else.
Mm-hmm.
And you put an end date to it.
Yes.
And then you're moving on.
They all know that is my intended end date. And they're very happy that I made that choice, because there's a couple of different reasons why I chose that date too. There's a high chance I won't even be in the state of New Jersey come the end of the summer, early fall anyway.
Congratulations.
Not for me. We'll get into that conversation if you want. But so
what? Okay, go ahead.
I kind of needed to find a date that would suit how I would want to end the show. And there would be no better way to end the show than a big old fucking birthday bash.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there probably will be tears that will fall.
Well, that's all right, dude.
I mean, I cried the last time I signed off on my show there. I cried. So I'm not afraid to admit that. I got emotional because it was around my graduation and I didn't know when I was going to have the opportunity again. So,
dude, that's just a good experience, right?
It is. And you know what? To be fair, I think I did a better job of my show this time around than I ever did when my first run, which was my senior year. Well, and that's a God's honest truth, to be honest.
Well, isn't that? I mean, that's kind of an obvious thing, right?
Yes, but so let's be honest here. We're talking about me. Okay. We're talking about me. So I am always my biggest critic. But there were times where I would finish a show and immediately after the show finished, I'd be like, that's the best fucking show I ever did. Straight up. As a matter of fact, some of them were so good, I made them into demos to send out to other radio
Good
stations.
for you. Now, this recent one, not high school stuff or college.
So this is the few month run I'm on right now.
You've made demos out. You've made demos out of that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And is that your goal, is to end up back on air doing a show?
Well, my goal was to do it full time and actually get paid for it.
Whoa, easy, bro, easy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
No, that's cool,
always
dude.
been the goal. That's always been the goal.
Now, has that industry changed quite a bit because of podcasting? Do you think?
I'm not necessarily sure. I'm not sure if the business end has changed all that much. I feel like because of podcasting, the business end had to adapt a little bit. I don't know as far as like the on-air aspect of it has changed any different. As a matter of fact, I think it has kind of to some extent, because I think people are getting way too comfortable putting out bland, clearly pre-recorded content. Like when you're in the industry for as long as I have, which isn't long, but it's still long enough to pick up on things as far as audio tidbits go.
Sure.
You can kind of tell to some extent, or it's hard to tell at times, whether or not something comes off live or something comes off very blatantly pre-recorded.
Yeah, but isn't there application for each one?
There might be.
Like this is pre-recorded.
But this is a podcast. So like for me, I hate when you're on radio, I feel like pre-recorded content loses a bit of the soul of what you're supposed to be doing. There's no
give me an example.
No free form. So like for me, okay, so we'll use my show for example.
Well, hang on a second.
Go ahead.
Give me an example, because for some reason I'm having a hard time wrapping around. I'll try
to explain it the best I can. But.
Yeah, but give me an example of a pre-recorded show that I would know of.
I don't know any that I can name, but it's just like how they come off when they speak, when they go on air.
I would probably be able to tell. I just don't listen to the radio.
That's fair. So if you don't listen to the radio, that you probably would have a harder time. I listen to it as much as I can. So for me, if something comes off like recorded, I can, or at least it feels like it is, I'm going to throw it up and say it's probably in some degree pre-recorded, unless there's like a phone call that's involved. Like if somebody's trying to win a contest or somebody's taking calls about getting opinions on something, obviously that's real. But sometimes there's no soul to what they're saying. It kind of just feels like it kind of just feels like clearly something's recorded because it just comes off not really natural to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, everything I've done as far as radio goes is live. And nothing's ever been pre-recorded. The only stuff that's pre-recorded is my my open, my bumpers when I come out of commercial, and my close. That's the only stuff that I ever have on my show that's ever been pre-recorded. Because for me, I feel as though some people are so used to also like not really having an identity with their shows. They're kind of like, oh, hi, this is so-and-so. Welcome to, we'll use a local station that I listen to, 98.1 WOGL. This is so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I kind of liked when certain shows had like some production aspects to it. That's why I like stations like 93.3 WMMR out in Philly. I don't think you would get it in your area because you're a little farther up north than I am. But so like they would always have like pre-recorded, like produced parts of their show as far as like entertainment aspects go, not them talking, like little throw together production pieces that make a segment entertaining or predates the segment that like, what's coming up next.
Okay.
If that makes any sense at all.
Yep.
So there's stuff like that I enjoy. Like instead of just pre-recording every single time you ever speak and uploading it and saying, oh, that's my show. Then we're going to throw music on it from whatever station.
I could see. I like that. It's like when I was listening to Rogan today and I'm on the road and he puts out so much fucking content. It just becomes white noise for me most of the time.
I'm sure. Yeah. It's also really long too. So at some point you're going to tune out of it.
Yeah, because you're just in your thoughts and doing your thing.
Exactly.
But I guess you know, he has a guest, he's talking.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Spotify, you know, they'll clip in a commercial and it's him that pre-records the commercial.
Yeah.
So obviously you can tell the difference when that's pre-record, you know, his podcast is pre-recorded too. But it's just, you can feel, like you said, there's no soul to it.
Yeah. And if it's a read, you can clearly tell it's coming off.
A read. Oh, that's a good way to say it. A read.
A spot, a read. That's a different.
Okay.
Those are like terms that people would use for, like, say, a sponsorship thing. It's like, oh, we'll do a live read, and there are stations that do like live reads where it's like they'll read off like, oh, this segment of the show is sponsored by so and so. I got this done by them, and they're great, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So like those are times where it's like, okay, that's cool. You can tell like that's live because you can kind of get the idea of what's live and what isn't when you listen to it long enough. So like,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's like first. Since the beginning of mine, I record when I do the editing for each episode. Mm-hmm. I record the intro and exit then. Like I don't have a preset to plug in. So I'll record it real quick and then I mix it in with my editing.
So like, oh, today I'm speaking with so-and-so. He does this and that. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah. So like I'll say, oh shit, we're in for a wild ride today. This dude did this, but give me a second. I got to throw a bunch of stuff at you. And then I'll go into, you know, my sponsors and like.
Got to take care of the business. We get it.
Yeah. Got to take care of the business. And I'm like, all right, enough of me ran. Let's get on the show. And then my little intro music. And then it cuts right into the episode like you walked into the room.
Yeah.
In a conversation. So I don't do okay, here we go. My name is this, and I'm talking to this dude, and here we go. And then we talk. No, I don't. I don't know. That's just the way it felt.
And that's your style, and that works for you.
Yeah, and it just felt so natural to do it, and it still feels so natural for me to do that. And I'm like, cool. And I was talking to another podcaster, and he's like, hey, do you do this? And do you do this for sponsorships? And do you do this for ad revenue and this, that? And I'm like, dude, I don't want to get into all that right now. I said, my bandwidth is, it's a banjo string at this point. And I just don't need to add anything to it. I really love what I'm doing. And if it doesn't reach fucking 1 million people a month, I don't care, dude. I get to sit here and talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get to talk to these guys around the world and these ladies and doing all this stuff and get to meet people like you and B-Word and all these other guys, you know. I would have never fucking met you.
Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, we met each other through a mutual friend, which is even crazier. So,
right. I mean, and that's what I get out of it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, and I could see the attraction that you have with radio.
Mm-hmm.
I can really feel that because I felt that in high school. Like I had an opportunity to be an overnight DJ. And I'm like, look, yeah. Because you know me, I like to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I'll get on this. And the guy I was working with at the time goes, I want your feedback on this as well.
Okay, go ahead.
And he goes, the issue with it is there's no reverb. Like I talk to you and you give it back to me. And we go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He goes, do me a favor. Go home. You got your setup. And I'm talking total fucking early 90s, late 80s setup with the boom box and the, you know, in your room.
Yeah.
You know the
sounds like
setup.
A nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. He goes, sit in front of it and get like a bottle or something that acts like a microphone and sit in front of your controls. So you're staring at them. And he goes, and try to talk for 5 minutes. And that, because I'm not getting any energy back. Because an overnight DJ or DJ in itself, you're not getting any feedback, energy coming back because nobody's talking to you. You know that everybody's hearing you, So, dude, I had a hard time with it. I couldn't do it at that time. And even now with my show, I do 10, 15 minutes with just myself talking. Even then, dude, sometimes that's tough to get out.
See, I have that problem where I feel as though I am not cut out to do solo shows unless it was like something radio based. Like solo podcasting is a big fucking no for me. There's
Dude,
no way I could do it.
God bless the people that can do that. Like, what's his name? Aaron. Dude, you listen to that guy?
Wait, Aaron, I had to say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron's one of my boys, man.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Dude, that motherfucker, he goes on for half an hour, and I'm like, I have no idea how. God bless you, bro.
Aaron, look, I can't say enough good things about him either.
Yeah, I love that dude.
At the same time, kudos to him because I am, to some degree, there's a term in radio. Well, there's two terms that I learned in college that my boss at my radio station, he taught a class and taught them to me. Generator and reactor. So the generator is essentially what you're doing on your solo shows or what Aaron's doing on his show, so on and so forth. Right. Reactor is more like me, where I will listen to that and bounce off of you and create ideas and so on and so forth. And we have a conversation based off things I'm giving back to you. And now we're talking about it in a deeper level, as opposed to you just talking about it on your own. So like for podcasting, I am much more of a reactor. I can lead a show per se. I can be the producer of a show. You've heard it on Bromigos. There are times where I will segue into a segment when I feel like we've talked enough about a certain topic.
Right.
But there's also times where I'll let the boys speak and say their piece on topics they're far more knowledgeable about than I am. And I will interject when I feel like I need to. Sometimes I don't get to interject when I want to, but when I do, because they'll fucking go on and on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
But when I do interject, we still get to build and have that conversation about things.
So a generator and a what?
Reactor.
Yeah, but wouldn't you be both?
Well, that's what I was going to say. When it comes to, say, doing my radio show, I am essentially, because it is a solo show, I am essentially the generator. I am the one coming up with all the ideas. I'm the one coming up with all the topics. And the thing is this, most of the time, I have everything I want to say already lined up in the sections of the show that I want to line them up in.
Mm-hmm.
So like let me break it down to you how I do this. Because my show starts a little bit after 11 a.m. in the morning, I have at least 10 minutes to talk about whatever I want to talk about. That's like my talking segment. That's where I cover things like sports, happenings in the world, so on and so forth. The next, little over a half hour of the show, including commercials, is all music. And from there, I can talk about some of the songs that may tie into what I spoke about in the first part of the show, or has nothing to do with it at all. And I can just talk about the song because I like the song, or here's a little bit of history about the song. And I'm not the end all be all of music knowledge, but I know a little bit about what I know about. And I like what I like. That's the beauty of my show, because there's no other show in radio like it. Where else are you going to get a mixture of rock, metal, old school hip hop, and basically whatever the fuck else I like?
Dude, that's awesome.
That's why it's the Michelin Man experience, because it's my experience in a radio show.
Yeah. No, I mean, but wouldn't that be podcast now? Like,
you could.
Here we are talking about fucking saying no. You being a DJ, I guess.
DJ, yes.
Okay,
that would be the term I would use.
Okay, I didn't want to. I wanted to offend. We're past that, dude.
Yeah, we're past that point. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, like, I wanted to, like, look at all the shit we've been talking about for the last hour.
Yeah.
Right. To stay on one topic. And I guess that's cool, because the classic thing is riches is in the niches, right? If you have a niche, you can talk for half an hour on something and it's one subject, and people, that's just not me, man. I like conversation, and I like it going fucking all different directions, man.
See, everyone in podcasting, when I first became a part of it, I was a part of a show that would become a very niche show. And everybody would say, oh, you have to find your niche. You have to find your niche, or you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow. Well, when I was a part of that show, we were actually growing because this is not mostly me anyway, was able to tap into the online part of the niche a little bit better than, say, my co-host at that time. He can do all like the real life events that came along with that niche. For those of you that don't know, it was an adult entertainment / BDSM kink podcast.
Whoa, hold on, dude. You can't fucking drop that line and move on.
I wasn't moving on. I was going to let you soak in with that one for a minute. I'm just not going to mention them by name because they don't need any free publicity from me without paying me for it.
All right. So, all right. Where were we? You lost me at the
sex shit. I get it. So like a lot of the guests I would get would be like outreach. Like I would get some pretty prominent, some of them were prominent stars, some of them were up and coming porn stars. We would go to events and such that I would talk with these women, and it was great. It was a fun time, and I liked doing that show for the time I did it. But unfortunately, some incidents out of my control, which I know I'm not necessarily proud of why I left the show, but I'm not upset about leaving the show in general, if that makes any sense. Okay. So, but the thing with Bromigos, where it's like it has basically no niche, like we have a list of general niches that we cover, but we don't necessarily focus on everything at once. Well, no, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. We don't focus on one of the many topics we talk about, because we talk about everything from music to pop culture to what's going on in the world to politics to social issues to things of that nature. And reasons why people like you like the show and always reach out to me about why they like the show is because of that we don't just cover one thing, and that we all have different experiences with those topics, so we can actually have a conversation and learn off of each other. Like, for instance, Date Money, Dante, and Panama Red Mike, they're African-American or Afro-Latino. Mike gets a little uppity about that, gentlemen. And they have completely different experiences than, say, this honky cracker.
It's amazing.
So I can learn from them about what it's like with their end when it comes to stuff like racism and how people in their own world perceive them about certain things in life. And I can offer my own opinion about how, say, white people, like, for instance, I'm in my undercover brother getup, if you haven't already noticed.
Undercover brother.
So hey, it's dude, like
that's saltine American, bro. That's just not cracker.
So, like, I don't know if you'll put up any clips online, but like the undercover.
You're goddamn right. I put clips up.
So if anyone happens to see this beautiful fucking mug,
my man. See, now that's what I'm talking about.
But for the people that can't see it right now, just imagine a guy with dollar store aviator sunglasses and the fake ass gold chain you find in Party City. And that was what I decided to do, because Mike one day said, you guys are, it was me and my other co-host, who's also white, Hunter, the Hoochie Man. And he said, you guys are about as entertaining, or he said we weren't entertaining for one of the episodes that he and I were just doing a show together. And I said, I kind of took that personally. It's like that Michael Jordan joke from The Last Dance. Like, and I took it personally.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can I do to draw attention to myself? And even if I look like a fucking idiot, I'll at least feel confident doing it, and no one can tell me shit.
Yep.
And I got dollar store fucking sunglasses and a fake ass gold chain from Party City. And there may or may not have been at one point in time a bandana that I wrapped around my head as a Tupac knot. Okay. That was egregious. I was told that was egregious. I will not do it again.
Egregious.
Listen, when the black guys tell you don't do that shit, I'm just like, listen, I'll listen to you guys on that one.
Yeah, I got to take it from you. Well, dude, look what I'm wearing.
Is that a retarded dinosaur?
Pretty close. Look.
I am unstoppable. It's just a fucking dinosaur.
Dude, for the people not listening, they know the shirt. It's got a T-Rex on it, and it says "I'm unstoppable," and he's holding one of those little extension arms with the little grabbers on the end.
Yeah.
And that means like he's a beast, but he had little arms, but now he's got long arms. Now I'm fucking unstoppable,
now he's
bro.
Unstoppable. I get it.
You should see. You should see the looks I get out of that thing wearing it at the gym. I wear that. This is my gym shirt. I wear this at the gym. Yeah,
that's great.
I'm unstoppable.
Well, I've seen some great shirts at the gym sometimes, but yeah, but like I said, I drew attention to myself in a way that I thought was funny, and I can at least feel like I am being somewhat entertaining. And if people think I look stupid, well, then go fuck yourself. I don't really care. It's not going to change me from not doing it. I just won't put the fucking bandana on. But if the guys really want to piss me off about anything, I'll bring the bandana out of spite. That's what I promised myself.
Yeah, just and every once in a while you have it with you and you hold it up and you're like, just so you guys know, I still have it.
I still have it. It's in my drawer. But
that's awesome.
But the one time they did clown me about something that I was a little upset about, and I haven't done it since because I got clowned about it. One of my favorite songs by Tupac is a song from the Strictly for My I can't say that word album, and it was the first song on the album. It's called "Holler If You Hear Me," and it's one of my favorite Tupac songs of all time. I have learned to rap that song to a T over the course of nearly 6 months. I'm not doing it right now. You're not forcing me to.
Damn it, dude! I was going to call you out.
Listen, I need the beat and everything. You got to give me some production.
Hey, dude, you see the color I am? There's no beat in this, dude. No, bro. No.
But anyhow, so like when I introduced myself one time on the show, I said, "Pump your fists if you feel me, and holler if you hear me. It's the undercover brother in the motherfucking house." And they're looking at me like, what in the white? What, like, it sounds about white is what you just said. And I was just like, in my head, I'm like, damn, fuck you guys. But you know what I do? If I can't do it on my own show, which I probably am going to bring it back because I don't give a fuck anymore. If I can't do it on my own show, I'm doing it every other guest appearance that I'm on. Like I've done it on some of my friends' shows, and they don't care. And I've done it, and I've done it on my own radio show. And funny enough, the background song that I have is the production of my opening is in fact "Holler If You Hear Me." So like while the chorus is going off in the background, your boy is going, "Pump your fist if you feel me and holler if you hear me." The Michelin Man is in the I can't say the motherfucking house, but the Michelin Man is in the house on and so forth radio station.
Yeah. Dude, I love
Bring the energy in.
Now it's going back to what you said earlier. If you like it and you're having a good time, somebody else has got to like it and having a good time. So if you're sitting there having a good time and you feel like, and it makes you feel good, that resonates and people can feel that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I feel like I feel like I bring an energy to radio that I'm not going to say anybody else doesn't, because that's a blatant fucking lie. But I feel like my energy is positive enough where people would want to listen to it, you know? I'm talkative. I provide good topics and good music. And I always end the show on a very positive note. I always tell people, I'm glad if no one's told you today, I'm glad you're still here. That's an important part.
Yep.
And then second of all, I always say, take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
I love it, dude.
And that's how I sign the show off every time I started doing it maybe like about a month or two ago, but I've done it every time since. So
no, it's once a week.
It's only once a week.
Once a week.
It's only for 1 hour, but the birthday bash is going to be a 2 hour. I finagled that. So
you're gonna have like guests on and call in.
No guests, no call-ins. I don't even know how to do that, to be honest. I don't even think they have ways to do it. I have not utilized it because that's just not what my show is for.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
So I don't feel, at least in that sense, I don't feel a point in using something that I have no use for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, concentrate on what you're doing, right?
Exactly. I can concentrate on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And God forbid I don't press any wrong buttons and take us off air. So
speaking of birthday bash, my 50's coming up.
Oh boy, when's that?
Not till January, but it'll be here.
Yeah, you got about 7 months.
Yeah, but so my wife tells me the other day, she goes, "This is what I'm doing for your birthday. I'm going to tell you right now."
Oh boy.
And that's all I'm going to tell you. You're not going to know anything else about it. And I said, okay, what do you got? She goes, we're going to get a hall and have a big party.
Okay.
And I'm going to set it up like a roast.
That's beautiful.
I went, That's amazing.
That's genius.
Wait, I can't wait.
So you're gonna get roasted for your 50th birthday.
Yep.
That's what you're saying.
And my buddies back in Colorado, I messaged them. I said, just give you a heads up. And they're like, dude, you don't have it. And this back in my days, these guys are coming out. So I can't. That's going to be brutal.
I have ever been a part of one roast in my whole life, if you can believe that. So
I don't know. I think they're going to become a little more popular because of the whole Tom Brady thing.
Well, they were always relatively big with celebrities, but I have only ever been a part of, I have done a podcast roast is what I have done.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I can see that.
And that's actually relatively popular to my it's been done quite a bit before to my understanding. My old podcast was reaching 100 episodes, and I said to myself, to my co-host months in advance, we should do a roast of the show. And he was a little apprehensive, but he obliged. So I got together everyone I needed to get together on my end. And this is I'm not going to say the stupid phrase I've been saying all episode. He did not hold up his end of the bargain and get who he needed to get. Everybody who was a part of that roast will tell you. It's public on that show. But it was a good time. And like people were taking shots at me. I was laughing at it. I didn't care. I knew it was all jokes. Yep. But when it came to, I told them, I said, if I only make one request, save me for last. And I didn't drop bombs, Walt. I dropped nukes.
See, my man. I won't be able to say nothing though. I just got to, isn't it part of a roast where then I get a chance?
Yeah, you're supposed to talk shit back. I don't know. Was that not factored in by your wife?
Well, it was just kind of at a whim and we thought it was a great idea. So details are being hammered out.
Oh, I mean, obviously you have more than enough time to take care of it.
Yeah.
But my point, it'll come quick, believe me, because Lord knows when we were setting up our roast, the date was coming up like that, and we were still ironing out some very crucial details. Again, mostly everything on my end was taken care of. I know that for a fact. That's my truth right there.
Yeah, there you go. As you can tell, I'm a very, very prepared gentleman. So like when I set out to do something, I will get it done because I will not rest at night until it is finished. I'm the same way, but it's both ways. It's one of the stubbornness is both. It's
I'm stubborn as fuck,
dude. It'll be. There's no way you can do that. All right, and then I'll go out and do it. Right, I'll scorch the earth trying to get it done because I'm that stubborn. But on the other side of that is, if I tell you I'm not going to do it, it's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm that stubborn about it too. So
then that kind of comes back full circle to the attainable and unattainable, right? If you can't find the means to get it done, you just can't get it done. And there's no harm and no foul about it. But if you can find ways to get it done, you can get it done.
Well, yeah. And I mean, just about anything's obtainable if depending on how fucking hard you want it. Right?
Don't tell me that. You're going to get my fucking hopes up.
but the thing is, though, it's the whole thing about free will and that's a little so there's an asterisk to everything.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm talking about, majority of it is build a business, buy a house, buy a motorcycle. That's obtainable. You might have to work your ass off to get whatever that is, right? But when you're talking about another person that has free will and a mind of their own and feelings of their own, that just kind of muddies the water a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Unless you end up like fucking Hannibal Lecter, whatever, dude. I mean, if that's what you're into, I guess.
You're right, jeez.
But that's cool about the radio stuff, man, and big sports too, huh? You just love sports all the way around?
I do. As a matter of fact, as we're talking, the Rangers, my favorite hockey team, are.
Did they win?
Well, they won the second round. Today is the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals. They're facing my most hated team in the entire NHL, which is the Florida Panthers.
Damn.
So I hate the Panthers more than I hate any team in the NHL, and that includes the likes of Boston. That includes the likes of the New Jersey Devils, the Philadelphia Flyers.
Wow. So
I hate them more than I hate those rivals of our team.
Damn. So I wouldn't catch you at the Prudential Center.
Unless it was for a concert.
Concerts are amazing.
Now I've been to a concert and I've been to wrestling events at the Prudential Center. Those are good times.
No shit. You know, the last time I was at the Prudential Center, you know who I saw?
Who?
Bill Burr.
Oh, that sounds like a good time. I would love to see Bill Burr. I've never seen I've only ever been to one comedy show.
What?
Ever.
What?
I know.
Dude, all right, listen. This is what you got to do.
Uh-huh.
NJ Pack. Do you know of it? You know of that? New Jersey Performing Arts Center in Newark.
Oh, I don't want to have to go to fucking Newark.
Come on, bro. Listen, let me tell you.
Okay, you tell me about it, but I just so you know, look at me. Look at me going to Newark.
Dude, look at me. I worked in Newark, in the guts of fucking Newark for 5 years, dude. And whoever's listening will understand when I tell you I worked full time outside in the Alphabet Streets in Newark.
For those of you that don't live in the state of New Jersey, Newark is one of the three shitholes, as I call it, of the state. There's Newark, there's Trenton, and then there's Camden.
Oh, wow. Camden, huh?
All right. Camden's a shithole. Are you crazy?
Well, there's a lot more shitholes than that. But
there are more shitholes, but those are the top three. Those are the top three.
Newark is a fucking... But, so the joke is, that was all, what's the redeveloped? What do they call that when they fucking make it all nice? What's the word I'm looking for?
Revamped, it's something.
Yeah. I know people are yelling at us in the car.
Yeah, I know. They're like, it's this one, you idiots.
How come you fucking two crackers don't know what that means? Yeah. But, so my wife... Redeveloped? No.
Maybe.
No. I know that's the thing. Anyway.
Fuck it.
Yeah, it'll come to me. At 2:00 in the morning, I'll sit up in bed and be like, that's it.
Yeah, but it's going to haunt us for the rest of our lives now.
So my wife works at NJ Pack. Okay. And that area of Newark is like fucking beautiful, dude. It's only like a 5-block radius, right? But that little section is nice. And she's like, when I was working in Newark, she's like, we both work in Newark. I go, no. No. You don't work in Newark. I work in Newark. But anyway, go back to what I was telling you, dude. What we got to do this, we got to set this up, and it's on air, so we got to fucking.
We have to hold ourselves to it. Yes,
yeah. You find a comedy show, because NJ Pack has comedy all the fucking time. All the time.
I bet it does.
You find a comedy show you want to go to. I'll fucking pay the night. You get your ass up here. We'll go to the comedy show at NJ Pack.
Deal.
You got to tell me which one you want to go to.
I gotta look it up though. I gotta see who's in the area.
Because I'll go to any comedy show.
I know, but I'm very selective with my comedy.
What? So, Come on, man.
There are people. Listen. There are people I like, and there are vibes that I get from certain comics that I like. Like for instance, like what's his name? Like Bill Burr's one I like.
Oh, he's old school, man.
He's old school. I love him. Like if Chappelle ever did something, yeah, right.
Well,
I would.
Man.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, he might. He'll be at the Prudential Center, but I ain't buying them fucking tickets.
Yeah, fucking thousands of dollars for that.
Yeah.
Was it a guy named Vic? A guy named Vic DiBitetto? I like.
I like that dude.
Jersey guy.
Yeah.
I would go to see his show.
He started like yelling at people like he was in his car making videos. Is that dude? Yeah.
He was like one of those types of guys, and
that's how he started.
Andrew Schultz is great.
Oh, I love Schultz. Oh, I love Schultz, man.
You ever hear Ari Spears though?
No.
He's like a tubbier black guy, and he's fucking hilarious.
Dude, you know who one
of my boys put me on to him, and I see his TikToks come up all the time on my feeds, and I'm just like, I can listen to this guy say some absolutely hood shit all day.
Dude, I love that kind of stuff. You know who I loved, and I miss a lot is Ralphie May. Remember
I've
him?
seen a few Ralphie May clips. He's funny. I like him. He was fat as shit, too.
Dude.
Oh,
And
God.
he fucking lost a bunch of weight and then he died.
Right? Isn't that
Right?
crazy? I didn't even know he lost weight. I thought he was always fat.
No, he dropped a shit ton of pounds and then some health problems. And that's what I heard. You know, I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Fact check it, whatever you got to do. But his fucking stint, dude, about do me a favor, whoever's listening, you got to do this. Ralphie, look on YouTube. Ralphie May, change in the payphone. Dude, write that down.
I'll write it
Look
down.
it up, and then once you see it later, you message me back.
Yeah. Change in the payphone, you said?
Oh my God. Oh. Dude, I hyperventilate with that clip. So that'll probably, it's not the name of the clip, but that'll bring up the clip.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah. And it's so popular, you know, it'll probably come up quick in the feed. But I love, you know what I like about Bill Burr? He's kind of like George Carlin. You know, he just says shit that he don't care. Dude, he has no filter.
So, you know something funny? I appreciate old, like the newer Carlin stuff, like the stuff when he was older than I do some of his earlier stuff. Because to me, he's kind of like what Chappelle does now. He's a comedian, but he's an orator of sorts, if that makes sense.
No, 100%.
He's making jokes and is being funny about it, but there's so much truth to what he's saying that it's like hard not to think about, damn, he's right. He's funny. He's right. Shit, but he's right.
Yeah. I always said about Carlin was there's probably a very few people in the world that could have an intellectual conversation with that dude and not get buried. He was just what he could talk about. You're just like, what? And make it funny. Like you said, what'd you call it? An orator?
An orator.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
I think that's a good term because I think that's what Chappelle does now too. Because Chappelle just tells stories and then adds jokes in between. Like some of his stuff. Like he doesn't tell. Like he tells jokes, but he tells stories first.
Right.
And adds the jokes between it.
Yeah, and he talks about what's going on, right? Or
like for instance, I saw a very decently long clip on TikTok of a show that he did. I think it was one of the latest specials. Where, you know, obviously he had that whole trans. That whole, and I'm not going to get into that. People could live their lives. And if they're happy, I'm happy, right?
100% agree.
But he was telling a story of a trans female fan and friend of his that wanted to be a stand-up comic. And it was a really beautiful story. Like, obviously it got a little testy towards the end of the clip but I didn't know this because the clip ends at some point, but people in the comments say he ends the story with saying she died.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know. I didn't know that part until I haven't seen the whole clip. So like she tells the story that she died, excuse me. And I was like, oh, that's terrible. Like that just killed the entire vibe of that clip for me. Cause I'm just like, here I am. Like obviously it got a little testy between the two during a show and so on and so forth about the identity of what she was going through.
Right.
And then to find out that she died, it's just like, damn, like I know he was being funny in between this joke, but I feel really bad now.
Yeah, but the way he can articulate through that story, you don't get any negative from it. Like
no, and I'd be shocked if somebody can watch that clip and tell me they can pick up a negative aspect from it.
Right. I mean,
I don't pick it up at all. And I'm a big Chappelle fan, so I mean, like maybe I'm a little bit biased in some way, shape, and form. But when I watch the clip, I personally don't pick up any negative bias from him. He's just telling a story about someone in his life at one point.
Dude, it was the one clip we watched one of his shows, and he's got a jar. Did you hear this clip where he's got a jar of punchlines?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude. He's got a jar of punchlines in his house apparently or somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I just dig it out and I got to, look at the punchline. I got to come up with a joke. And he digs it out and he goes, one time it was like kick her in the pussy. And he's like, fuck, how am I going to do it? And that was at the beginning of the show.
Oh my God, right? Really?
Right. And then he just goes on about his show. He's just doing his thing. Dude, that's how he fucking closed it. He's like, this woman did this and da. He goes, fuck it. I kicked her in the pussy. And I was like, oh my God, dude, how brilliant. Dude, it's brilliant. He is so brilliant, dude.
So
he is so brilliant.
One of my favorite stand-up specials of all time, and the very few I have watched, but I have seen at least 5 to 6 of them. One of my favorites is Killing Them Softly, which was the one he did in the early 2000s. We had the 3 a.m. in the ghetto bit.
Oh, I'd have to go back on that one. That
you have to go back. That's one of my favorite
Yeah.
bits he's ever told, was the 3 a.m. in the ghetto.
You know who's I feel that's underrated, that I think is just fucking hilarious, is Tom Papa.
I don't know him. I know it sounds. I just blasphemy again. I know.
No, it's all good. But that's why we're talking, right? You know,
Yeah.
everybody.
Time for me to learn today.
Dude, just look up shorts or clips with Tom Papa. He's funny and he's clean. He's clean, and dude, I fucking howling when I watch him. And Val, my wife, NJ Pack, he comes there and I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. Well, he films his Netflix special. So we're at the Netflix special when he was filming it. And dude, he's funny, man.
I bet.
Yeah. So Tom Papa and Ralphie May, look those up.
I think the only relatively clean comic I watch is Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah, I got some.
I've rarely ever seen him curse in his bits. He does, but it's very seldom.
Yeah. My wife's a big fan, and she came to NJ Pack. Now I'm drawing a blank. Asian lady. Real dirty. She was in fucking super dirty, dude. Like raunchy dirty.
Oh.
God, what the fuck is her name? Damn it. She was in Crazy Rich Asians, I think, and she was in some other.
Oh, okay.
God,
wait, was it the lead? Was it the lead or no?
I can't remember.
Hold on, let me look up Crazy Rich Asians.
If I hear her name, I'll know it right away.
All right, cast. Constance Wu?
No.
Aquafina?
No.
Michelle Yeoh?
No. Maybe she.
Gemma Chan?
No. Damn it. Maybe she wasn't in.
Sonia Mizuno.
No.
That's what I'm getting out of it right now.
Google famous Chinese. No, what would be the? It wouldn't be. I guess Asian female comedians. Maybe something like that, right? I mean,
famous Asian female comedians. Ali Wong.
Ali Wong. There you go.
Let me look at her because she seems like she's kind of cute. Hold on.
She's a very attractive woman.
Oh yeah, listen, I'm not into Asians, but goddamn, okay.
Dude, I got yellow fever like a motherfucker. Dude, I married a Korean. So
you did not?
Yeah, my wife's Korean.
I didn't know this.
Yeah,
you didn't tell me this last time we had a chat.
Yeah.
See, some guys of our complexion just love. Like you said, yellow fever, and I'm not trying to. I ain't trying to sound prejudiced. I'm just saying it's what it is.
Anyway,
so you have yellow fever. I have Hispanic fever. I love.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, you like? Oh, dude. So I just got. Man, you like them a little crazy, huh?
Maybe a little bit bossy, if you catch my drift.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. I ain't mad at you for that.
You can't blame me.
But
listen,
dude,
if the vibes are right, I'll be with any woman. But Latinas, I have a little hold on my heart here.
Good for you. Dude, so Ali Wong, this gives you an idea how raunchy she is.
Oh boy.
And I enjoy it, right? I mean, some of her stuff, whatever, dude. You know, everybody, my wife enjoys her, and I enjoy her enough though I'll go and see her. Right? And she's like, I get it, and she talks about dirty sex all the time. Okay. Raunchy shit. And she's like, I get
a thing or two.
Well, probably, dude. She's like, I get it. I understand that you don't want to go down on me when I have my period. But after 5 days, it's kind of like watered down salsa, man. You should be able to handle that. And I was like, what the fuck? Dude, dude, I about fell out of my.
That's some Nikki Glazer shit.
Dude, I did not do that joke justice at all.
I bet you didn't.
None at all.
I bet it would be so much funnier if she told it.
Oh my God, dude.
Don't go into comedy, Walt.
Yeah, no. My delivery is not. But yeah, I enjoyed her show. And she does a lot of cool things. She does some acting and stuff like that. But just overall, she's a lot of fun, But when we saw Bill Burr,
mm-hmm.
he had some opening acts. Some were just horrible. And then there's a couple guys, because he had a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, man, had me rolling. They were cool. And then the lights go down, right? And you're like, all right, here we go. And then the announcer's like, one of the greatest, and like building this up, like long lasting, greatest, all this comedian. I'm like, Bill Burr? What? I love Bill Burr, but this is a little over the top,
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Andrew Dice Clay came out. We didn't know it.
The place must have fucking erupted.
Dude, what was awesome, because where we were sitting like if you were looking at the stage, we're up on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
So when the house lights came on, Andrew Dice Clay walks out. The house lights came on. You could clearly see guys like me just losing their shit. I'm like, this is and then half the place, they're like, oh, who this is? And they're like looking around. Yeah, dude. It was amazing. And he got after it, and he, of course, he told the old rhymes, and the whole crowd finished not the whole crowd, because most of them didn't know who they were, but the crowd would finish the punchlines. It was fun, man. It was super cool. It was great to get wound up like that before Bill Burr came out.
I mean, we were talking about Prudential, because this is where this was, right? Prudential.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. I saw an Eagle. The last time I was at Prudential, I think I was at an Eagles concert, because my job at the time gave me free tickets. And I didn't know this at the time, but the tickets were all the way in the last possible fucking row of the place. I guess because they were the cheapest, right? But even then, one, I got to see the fucking Eagles perform.
There's that.
Two, there wasn't even a bad seat.
No, there's not a bad seat in Prudential.
I still saw almost everything pretty well. And the equipment that they had, because they said they spent all this money on production aspects to make sure that people could see the show. Mm-hmm. Even then, I wasn't really missing anything, because the screens and the sound were so good. Nothing sounded like shit. Yeah.
And that's the one thing with you being an audio guy with NJ Pack, the big hall, because it's made for orchestras and live music, right?
Yeah.
The way it's designed, and they go into how angles and all that, so no matter where you sit, the sound is like perfect.
Oh, I see what you're saying, because I've been to the last couple of concerts I've been to have all been metal concerts, right? Like really like heavy shit, like there's mosh pits going and everything. I'm not a big mosher guy, but one of my best friends is, right? So, but some of these venues are not all these venues for this type of music are not all made the same. That's what I could say.
No. Of course
there are
not.
some venues that handle it better than others, especially when it's like really loud. And I'm not a big screamer and stuff in my music, but like a lot of this involves screaming.
Right.
And there are times where it's like, fuck, I can't hear what this guy is saying because the acoustics in here is so bad. But then there are other places, like I was just in Brooklyn at a couple of weeks ago at the brand new, I think they just redid it. It's a Paramount. There's a couple of those in the area. There's one in Long Island. There's one in Long Island and Huntington. And then, Huntington. And then there was another one by Long Island University or whatever. That's the Brooklyn one. So we went to the Brooklyn one. And one, it might be one of the most beautiful concert venues I've ever been in. Two, it was the acoustics were very well done.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the music was still so loud because we were so close to the stage and we were right by speakers where it's just like, okay, I'm not going to hear for the better part of the next 2 days.
Beautiful.
But it was still great.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought was super cool too. What they do is older movies. We saw the original Star Wars like this, where they strip the sound off the movie.
And they do the orchestra?
Oh, dude. Have you ever done that?
I have never. I am curious to know what that is like.
Dude, I can't. I got goosebumps just thinking about it right now.
Actually, no, now you say that, I will say this: there was an orchestra for the Eagles concert that I was at. Like,
that's cool.
Some of their songs were performed using an orchestra.
I like when Metallica did that.
I remember Metallica did do that.
Yeah.
I've heard bits and pieces of that. I think I saw a clip of Accept doing that once. The metal band Accept, if you've heard of them.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool because it was one of their best songs, and they had an orchestra behind them on. I was like, damn, this is actually kind of fire. But as you were saying, though,
dude. So we're getting settled in, and you know how, because it was 20th Century Fox where it's like dun 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 and the fucking right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So we're just hanging out. We're not fucking. We're like, I don't know when. And dude, the orchestra dropped that intro.
They dropped the intro too.
The orchestra did that. And I was like,
wow.
What the fuck? Dude, it was cool. It was super cool. Then they do Jurassic Park, and I think they do Harry Potter. But I would see Jurassic Park like that. That would be cool.
I would see Jurassic Park. I would see Star Wars and Jurassic Park like that. I would not. I'm not a Harry Potter guy, so I wouldn't go and watch Harry Potter.
No.
But I'm sure it would be good for people that are into that. It's just not my thing.
It's just a different way of seeing something, because I never would have thought of it. And we got some friends that, because everybody knows it, my wife works there, so they reached out to her and she's like, "You want to go do this?" I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. And it was really neat. I highly recommend anybody that can go see a movie where it's a live band or orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool experience, because you feel it. You feel the music. You know what I mean?
The other thing I was curious about is the level of the margin for error, because obviously they can take as many takes as they want trying to get the music to perfection for the regular version of it, which you hear in the film. But to have to play it live, your fuck ups are now under a microscope by thousands of people.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you got to know what you're listening to know if they fucked up or not.
That's also true.
I wouldn't know if they fucked up.
Well, yeah, that's true too. So, maybe some people would have a keener ear to it than say
my wife would. She knows all that type of music.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, we got to wrap this up.
Are you kicking me out already?
Well, two things. We got to look up NJ Pack.
I will
get a comedy show on the calendar, dude. I would love to go to a comedy show. I'll go to any comedy show. So it doesn't matter.
I would love to go with you. And we got to get this done because, like I said, there might be a chance I'm not in the state in the next couple of months. So sooner we can get that done, the better.
All right, I'm putting all that on you. So
I will. I'll let you know. I got a beef with you, by the way, before we go.
Yeah. All right. Wait, do I need to crack my knuckles?
No. Remember when you said you were going to mail me a sweatshirt?
It never came?
No, I never got anything.
Motherfucker. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't even think you know what it is? I don't think you read the message. Because you didn't. I don't think you read the message.
Did you email me?
I didn't email you. I think I texted it to you on. I sent it on Instagram. I'll email it to you.
You got to email me. All right, dude.
I'll email it. I'll reply to the email that you sent me for this link.
All right, dude.
So that's been my beef with you for a couple of months. I'm like, where the fuck is this sweatshirt?
It took you that long to get a beef with me?
I figured I might as well tell you. I wasn't going to bother you about it in a message. I was like, I'll wait to talk to him about it.
I like that.
Now I have to hold you to it now.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I got to wait for your email.
Oh,
see?
You son of a bitch.
Spun it around. Hey, all right. So NJ Pack comedy show. Ralphie May coins in the payphone.
I have it written down, so I'm going to look it up.
Dude, you got it. All right. And people listening, look it up and respond back to me, because I need to know your response on that, because I think that's amazing. And then what I want to have you do, take the mic for a minute, tell everybody where to find you, and then I would like you to close the show out the way you close your. You know what I'm talking about?
I would be honored. Yes.
All right, man. Take after it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed hearing me you can find me in a couple of different platforms. One of them is my YouTube channel, which is the most OG out of all the platforms I'm a part of. That is Edge0626. You can also follow me on Twitch for that too. All of that is gaming and commentary and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy. Second of all, the Bromigos podcast. You can find us on your favorite podcast platforms. We're the only show with the name Bromigos in it that still makes content. All these other motherfuckers don't last more than 10 episodes, which is the industry podcast standard. You know, you don't go past 10 episodes, you fail, and you just quit. We didn't do that. We're on 80 episodes now at the point of this recording. I don't know when the fuck this is going to come out, but we're on episode 80 now, so you got plenty of content to binge watch and listen to our bullshit and hear all of our laughs and hear all of our arguments and hear all of our other incredibly outrageous, sometimes very I will admit, what's the word I'm looking for? It starts with ignorant takes at times. Some stuff on there I'm not too proud of, but I'll be honest. There's some ignorant shit in there that I'm not too proud of, but we live and we learn and we do better in the future. That's all I will say. And last but not least, like Walt said here, there's a couple things I'm going to say. I'm going to add one more little piece onto that. To the people that are struggling, every day you wake up is another day you win the fight. That is from my good friend, Ashley Adams. Shout out to her. That's a quote she told me when I was having a tough time. So I hope it helps you out too. And if you are struggling, I'm glad that you're still here. And as always, take care of yourselves, but most importantly, take care of each other.
Well done, dude.
Thank you, sir.
We're out of here. Bye, everybody.
Later, bitches.
Well, you've probably come to the conclusion if I'm a fan of Matt or not, right? Oh, we had such a good time. Matt and I stay in contact, which is awesome. He's a good dude. Link is in the show notes. A lot of things have happened since this recording. Go over and check them out. And like I said, in the beginning, we went and saw a comedy show together, which was a great time. All right, so I'm going to get you out of here because I know you got shit to do. But don't forget to look up that Ralphie Mayo. That's just crazy funny shit about digging change out of a payphone. Oh my God, I had to look it up when I'm doing this editing. All right, man, get out of here. Merry Christmas. Have a great holiday, y'all. And don't forget, live Rishi, composure, high-speed daddy, and me. Bye, y'all. Till next time.
You out there? You listening?